symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? The Job Guys back with you one more time. Nitro Nick is there, Sloke is here, and we are here to talk about Money in the Bank 2024 from Toronto. Packed house, sold out one more time. They have been doing that now for what? Over a year, just filling everything up. Pretty good card. It's always interesting. People always love the Money in the Bank, even though it might be played out a little bit nowadays, Nick. But this is normally one of the big five pay-per-views of the year that people look forward to. Before we break it all down, your thoughts overall on the night? A, B, D, thumbs up, thumbs in the middle. What do you think?
Thumbs in the middle somewhere. I got some issues, but I thought some of the matches were really good. The opener and the closer I thought were great matches. If you like wrestling and into that. But yeah, had some problems with one of the middle matches though, right? And it didn't go over too well with the Horts. But yeah, it's kind of funny, right? We were sitting down and Stephanie asked me, she's like, so where does this kind of rank? And I'm like, never really sat and thought about it. It's got to be like 4, because Survivor Series isn't what we grew up with. You know, you can't just say Survivor Series is a big 4 anymore, because it kind of hasn't been. You know, they kind of been trying to figure out what to do with it. It might become War Games, but
well, you know, it has.
Yeah, and I think this is, you know, after the Rumble and SummerSlam, this has got to be 4, right? You know, as far as like name. So, yeah, kind of is exciting. The downside, Ryan, I think you nailed it. What do you do in these matches, Ryan? We have seen so many gall darn ladder matches for the Money in the Bank. It must be a nightmare to walk up to the creative team and be like, dude, not only do we need you to write another Money in the Bank one, we need you to write 2 now every year.
With the girl.
Because you have both of them. It's a match that's really designated as a heel match. It's a weird thing when the face wins. And to be honest with you, I would say out of the last 10 Money in the Bank winners, maybe on both sides, I remember when it first came in, it was like a 90%, 85, like the Money in the Bank was almost a guarantee you were cashing in and winning that title. It doesn't seem that way now. It's kind of almost like a 50-50. Whereas, I mean, in the whole story of the men's is over now.
Yeah, they've been doing that with the ladies lately, where the girl cashes in darn near immediately. Tonight they tried that with the guys. We will get into that and the absolute botch that was. I thought this, once again, I thought this was a terrible show. I didn't like not a single thing.
Wow.
About it.
I thought it was better than the last 2. I'm not saying the bar was not high.
Yeah.
Those were awful pay-per-views, but again, a problem. There's some problems.
Yeah, there's some problems. And well, let's start. The men's Money in the Bank match was very first thing. I think most people thought it was either going to be Yeet or LA Knight, maybe, or Drew. They go with Drew. He wins it, and unfortunately, I think that kind of gave away the entire night. With him winning, I think we knew exactly what was going to happen later on in the show. A couple things about this, though. They had some real bad camera cuts where you just saw flat-out missing moves. Guys getting hit with the ladder and didn't come near them. Or, you know, their move and they didn't hit them. There was some very unfortunate cuts that did that at the very beginning. They said Sika's funeral was today, which immediately told me, well, we're not getting Roman today then. And I hated that. I thought that
I didn't think we were getting Roman anyway, but
I didn't either. But that told me we absolutely were not, because I think SummerSlam is either going to be Cody and Solo or Roman and Solo. Well, now we know it's not going to be Roman because his dad's funeral was today, so he's not going to be there. So I thought that kind of ruined the night for me a little bit right then. And then after we knew who won, I mean, all right, well, Drew's going to cash in tonight, and what's going to cost him. They blew their entire wad to me immediately. I don't know what you thought about it.
I felt this. I was happy. I just didn't. I guess we'll have to get to the more match because I'm not mad with Drew winning the match. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted him to win. I think Drew is the best thing with Roman not here. I do love the Bloodline story. Solo's been awesome. They've got other guys. I just think Drew has been amazing. This has been an ultimate run.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess we'll get to the dog part of it, the doghouse, if you will. Like, why didn't because the second part ruins this whole match. I did notice that, and that happened in the other match too, Ryan. The camera angles, the girls, I think, was even as worse with missed moves and things
Well,
with the
yeah.
camera.
And then we had people nearly kill themselves.
Yes, that's bad too. You don't ever want people to kill themselves in the ring. So
yeah, I didn't pay for that.
no, I did. Although that is what I think people got murdered on Raw a couple weeks ago, but with Wyatt's there, but I don't know, Ryan. The match was fine to me. I like Drew winning. I just was hoping they would be something a little bit different than what happened next when we get to the other.
Yeah, and to me, it was just telegraphed. The whole thing was telegraphed, and I didn't like that. We'll get into it when we get to it. Second match of the night, IC title, Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn. Sami didn't get much of a reaction. Braun needs music. I was shocked by the finish. I did not see this finish coming. Very, very big for Sami. But yeah, I did not see him winning at all.
They're definitely they're building him as the underdog. The guy that, he's just going to get beat like a rag doll, but somehow he comes out on top. And it seems to be working. I'm okay with it. The only thing I didn't like about this, Ryan, is Braun. I don't like when these guys go for belts and lose the first time because now what do you do with this guy? It just also there's certain guys, Ryan, like where their father's gimmick can transmit to them. Ted DiBiase Jr., I thought was one. I really thought he could work with the $1 million belt and kind of piggybacking off his dad's gimmick, maybe with the inheritance or something. Braun Breaker needs to stop barking and he needs to get out of this
1980s.
Yes, spandex. I'm sorry, like your dad, his gimmick was special. If people like it, fine. If you don't like the dog face gremlin, fine, whatever. But it was a gimmick that I would not try to replicate because you're
especially
not going to.
Your name's not Steiner.
Right. And I would I don't like them even remotely. I would distance him from the Steiner brothers at this point in time. I don't see any real benefit. Like they're not drawing on. The only way I would not distance him, if you bring out his dad, I'd have him murder his dad. In the not like legit kill, not like Wyatt family blood splattered on the wall. Like beat up his dad or something. I don't know, but I don't want to see him bark. I don't want to see him with a collar or in these spandex. I like the dude. I think there is something there. He's got a lot of intensity. He looks good. He can wrestle. Mic work will probably come. It needs a little bit more, but I like the dude, man. It was a lose-lose tonight, Ryan, because Sami, I'm glad he held the title because I was thinking the other one, man, all the titles have switched, Ryan. Like a lot, the Cody and him, I think both tag titles are not on the people they were at WrestleMania. The women's tag title is not. The bigger Raw world title is not. The US, the IC, and the Cody's. I was happy to have him keep it. I'm fine with that, but I just didn't like Braun losing. It was just a tough.
I mean, he's got to lose eventually, but yeah, I didn't think it would happen this quickly. And I am with you. I said the same thing when he came out wearing the outfits. I'm like, dude, the Steiners, it was old when they were still wearing them in 97, let alone 30 years later. And I mean, I guess it's slightly better than the ones he was wearing when they first turned him heel. He was wearing clothes that said badass. Like, okay, it should say dumb instead. But I don't. What? Tell me when I'm lying. So then, the shocker of the night comes next. Trish Stratus is there. She is the host of this thing. She does the worst freaking intro I have ever heard anybody on earth. Was she asleep when she did this? Like, no emotion, especially with what Cena was going to say. She was like a robot. And please join me now. Here comes John. Like, and then he comes out and says he's retiring, kind of out of nowhere. We've heard him talk about this on podcasts and stuff, that he's going to be wrapping up really soon. But he doesn't really say what he's doing. He just says, next WrestleMania, I'll be here. Next Money in the Bank, I'll be here. But so when are you retiring?
He wasn't any better on the damn after show. Any questions available?
Yeah.
Ryan, here, I wrote this down. He kept going. He goes, ask me anything. Nothing's off limits. John, reflection on your career. I don't want to reflect on it, man. I look forward. John, Vince McMahon. I don't want to talk about Vince McMahon. About it. John, heel turn. You're going to see me. I can't tell you what we're going to do. What do you look forward to this run? I'm going to have fun. Who else would you like to work with? Roster's loaded.
Yeah, anybody.
What about the 17th title win? I have to earn it. Do you want it? Do you want a feud with anybody, John? Can you answer any of these?
He said nothing.
Nothing is off the table except John, run for office, because this
John, what do you have for breakfast?
Yeah. This was the best politician interview, with saying you would answer anything but saying nothing, and yet letting us think you answered everything. I don't.
Did he tackle Medicare?
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Yeah, he didn't either. Okay.
He's gonna do something with it. But yeah. But the cool thing is, I will say this: it's nice to know if you want to see John Cena, you better get some tickets. Mm-hmm. That is because I am gonna look if SmackDown or Raw comes to my area and he is on the card, and it's not $10 million, right, which going to wrestling is now. I'll go check him out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you saw it with AEW, and I didn't think about this till right now, but at that with Sting, well, I mean, they wouldn't have sold 17,000 tickets if it wasn't Sting's last match. But then they told you this is this is it. He is done. And then afterward, he did say, I'm going to wrestle through 25. So I don't know what that means of like New Year's 2025, he's done. But
I was watching, they went back to the panel after it was over, and I'm still doing other things. 30 to 40 dates is what I heard in 25.
Oh, okay.
So that's a lot of dates, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, some of them maybe house shows. I don't know, but
be great.
I'm big. Ryan, I hope the guy gets some dubs. This guy has
that too. Have you seen my track record? I know I need to earn it. That's because he's lost every match.
Everything. I don't want him to go out like Ryan, I don't think he needs to win every I'd like to see him win the majority of the matches he fights until he leaves. Question for you, because he didn't answer this either. Does he get the 17th title?
Well, you've got 2 belts. So
that's what I was thinking.
You could do it. I don't know. I mean, he didn't answer it. Does he want it? Does he want to? I mean, he's already number 1, but you know how big of a historian and everything he is. Does he go, you know what? Yeah, let me top Flair. Or does he say, you know what, man, I'm already on the top. That's good enough for me. I don't know. It would have to be the right match also. Like, I could definitely see them tease it. It would have to be the right match, because
you know what, right? You're right.
Then he's got to lose too. He's not going to.
Well, dude, if he's going all 25, Ryan, there's some matches that I think we kind of saw. Maybe a Rollins Punk doesn't need a title for WrestleMania. Roman Rock doesn't need a title for WrestleMania. You put Cena in a 17-time chance at WrestleMania, it is another big name match on the card. You know, so
yeah, It could definitely happen. I wouldn't be shocked,
because he could drop it back the next paper.
I don't know though. I think it's probably going to be up to him. If he wants it, they'll give it to him.
I think they're going to push for it, because they love to break record. And I mean, how many times? I mean, I guess you still have Orton, but are you really going to throw 3 belts on Orton for the time he's left? So this would be, and they like to break records now. I mean, how many times we've seen the Rumble, it's now like .0075 is, I don't, whatever the hell it is.
Right.
I think if I have to err, I think he's going to get a title run. He might drop it the next night on Raw, but I think he's going to get to taste that belt and break the record.
I wouldn't be mad at it. And I mean, better than Damian Priest, I'll tell you that.
Nikes.
So I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't want him though, like if Roman had the belt.
Still. No, it would be the B belt. It would be the B belt, Ryan. I don't, well, the other belt.
Now that there is a B belt. But
no, it's 100%. Damian Priest has helped make it the B belt.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem if it's somebody like him.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think I'd want to see him beat Cody, like.
No, he's not. He'd have to beat somebody who it will not hurt them. Like you could see him and Orton fighting for the belt again. Him and because they've had their. That'll probably be his last match, I assume, is Randy Orton, because they've had such a historic feuds, if you will.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Rollins, he could lose. It does, he's beat Cena, he's lost to Cena. You've got some guys on there. The two dogs, like the bigger guys you're pushing, like Roman, Cody, even Solo to an extent. I don't want him to beat those guys.
Right.
Though that doesn't seem to help anybody, but for
sure. Okay. So then we get the world title match, which was reported to be the last match that, once again, reporting was wrong. So it's Seth trying to win his belt back from Damian Priest. What everybody's going to be talking about coming out of this pay-per-view is Cena, and then the botch on this.
Well, he went in, he
1,
didn't show.
2, it looked like a 3, nobody moved, and then the ref just all of a start. Yep, 2, shoulder was up.
He didn't have a tan. His tan wasn't there, right?
Huh?
He didn't have a tan.
Yeah. He just wasn't in it, brother.
He wasn't feeling it, brother.
Yeah. So here's what I think happened.
I can't wait. This is horrible.
Like 5 seconds later, then Drew McIntyre comes out. I think you were supposed to see a 1, a 2,
the music.
Because if you look also behind, like the house lights come up.
Yes.
And we're like, why did the lights come? What's going on here? Well, whoever, apparently, Uncle Howdy's music.
Yeah, the Wyatt guys have a light guy. They could get him.
Yeah. Those guys have a light and sound guy that works. So
Pyro. Yeah.
I think whoever did that forgot to hit the button. And the referee didn't know what to do. So he was like, he can't, And then Drew just shows up for no reason.
Oh, God.
And it becomes a triple threat match. Okay. And then what we talked about earlier. You knew at that point this CM Punk was going to come out and cost Drew. I have numerous issues with this. Why? Why was he's already cost him twice, and then Drew murdered him. Did he really need to cost him again? And most importantly, was he just in the crowd in case Drew tried to cash in the Money in the Bank tonight? Why didn't he cost him? I don't know. The Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Drew said he was going to cash in.
Just in case maybe he decided to cash in, I'll be here to cost him. Absolutely mindless garbage. And here's another thing. All of a sudden, there's no DQ? He said that too. They go, there's no DQ in a triple threat match. Since freaking when?
Well, I don't know.
Since when?
I don't know. So I think triple threat matches are usually no DQ, aren't they?
No.
I thought they were.
Doesn't somebody just come down and do whatever all the time then?
Right. I think they do because they don't want to do count outs because the guys lay outside the ring forever. How can you count 1 out when 2 are still in? And Drew
gets in there and starts hitting him with the belt. He's hitting him with chairs. He's hitting him why is this not a disqualification? Oh, well, triple threats don't have that. Since freaking when?
I don't know. Well, I'll defend on that. I thought triple threats you can't DQ because it seems like you're already DQing. There's already illegal action. There's one, you got two guys double teaming one. Like, you know, I
That's
mean,
the match though. Like,
right. I just didn't
there's
think,
no illegal.
I didn't think that because they fight outside. I just didn't think they had those rules.
Well, then you should just have your friend come in and kick everybody's butt.
Ryan, what I think's even worse than that is you made your Drew look like a clown. Who wants to get a triple threat match? Why wouldn't you wait till the damn thing's over?
Exactly.
Like, you made Drew look like an idiot because look, why am I coming down and neither dude is laying there like knocked out. Like, it's not like they're completely wiped and been through hell and stairs are here and chairs are there. They're just had like 10 minutes of a match and this guy is going to come out. Why not make it? Or on that, come out there, murder them both with chairs, get the match thrown out, DQ'd, and then cash in. Like, I mean, because, right, you can cash in anytime you want. Whenever. Yeah, that whole, when he came out, because he did say on Raw that he was cashing in tonight, that he was going to win and he was doing it tonight. So, I mean, that, I guess, but the way he did it made zero sense. And Ryan, you can't unsee the non-kick out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, you can't not see it. That's Starrcade 97. Like, he lost. Like, Seth pinned him. And I don't know how you like, you're just going to pretend. That's a rough one, I guess. I mean, we go Damian Priest. I'm sorry. And if you look back to the last pay-per-view, no one's talking about anything about his match except his foot getting caught in the rope. You know, on this guy has not had a very successful reign. I think this belt looks and feels like a B title again after Rollins busted his rear end the entire year to legitimize that thing. And again, was it there with Roman's former title? No, but it was close. I think it's back down to, you know, JBL level now, where, you know, it's the second title.
It's really bad. And I'm sick of this. I've never been a fan, but I'm beyond sick. I'm like, when they come on the TV, I change the channel or I stop paying attention. Or if I'm at work, I start working again. Because, dude, they have been teasing breaking this group up for I don't know how long. Yeah, just break up already. Like, I'm so sick of it. And is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? What is he doing? And then they put up the graphic. Damian Priest against Gunther. Like, that might be the worst title match in SummerSlam history.
I'm going to put in Mabel and Diesel. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm not, nobody. Ryan, and then to piggyback on what you said, they teased it again tonight. What was the whole point of Judgment Night in the back and Finn Balor? The camera zooms in really close on him and he says, okay, boss, okay. Or like, and then nothing, he's not in, like, and then
we never to make
doesn't come out to cost him. But then Priest wins to justify what he said. So he told the Judgment Night to stay out, and they did. And then he won the match. Well, why do we have a problem with the Judgment Night now? You teased all these problems, and it makes no sense what we're doing. Are we breaking up or are we not? You know, pee or get off the pot with this group, man. It's going on too long.
Yeah, I think you've made Drew look dumb, and he's the heel. I get it, but I mean, Punk has now cost him 3 times. And then what's Punk's deal? He's sitting there like a heel on the announce desk, and
Ryan,
and now Seth is yelling at him, and that's the match we never got at Mania that we were supposed to get. So now what's going to happen there? Are we going to have
it's 98? It's 98 Hogan. Punk's going to start feuding with the company.
With everybody.
I don't know, Ryan. I just. This match was just.
It was bad.
It was bad, Ryan. Yeah, there's no other way around it. I don't know what they're gonna do. As far as Punk goes, Ryan, you said 3 times. It's 4. Ryan, he was in a match on Raw to qualify for the #1 title, and Punk screwed him in that one too. So this guy has screwed, like, and I get that Drew beat him up. There's no way Drew loses at SummerSlam now, in my opinion. Like, he can't lose now. And for everybody out there, we got to remember Drew is 40. Punk is over 45, if I'm not mistaken. Drew doesn't get injured as much as Punk.
Nobody gets as injured.
Yeah, right. I mean, who are we going with here? You know, like for the future of the company, I see more. I get it that Punk is over and Punk has his fans and Punk has that. But I mean, this guy has been, how many matches has he wrestled since he's been back?
One.
The Rumble.
Got hurt.
Got hurt.
He fought Dominic at a house show.
Awesome.
And he got hurt 3 of his last 4 matches in AEW.
So I sure hope Drew wins like that. I'm with you. I don't know why you have to make Drew like you've already got over that this guy has screwed Drew. Like Drew just looks like a clown.
Yeah. Nothing happened today. Like all of that meant nothing.
Nothing. The Money in the Bank match
screwed him out of the belt a couple times.
The Money in the Bank match might as well not even taken place. That's why I liked the match, but the Damian Priest match ruined that match. Like I now I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of Money in the Bank matches, girls' Money in the Bank match. Because of the way this finished, I think a lot of people think it's good. Finish was very good. Chelsea and Tiffy were at the top. Chelsea flies out of the ring through tables. Tiffy wins.
She can't wrestle though, Ryan.
Expected. But there were so many botches in this match.
Oh my God.
And one that I literally thought a girl broke her neck.
The Stark one when she flipped off the top rope and hit the ladder.
Top rope. Zoe Stark landed. I don't know what it reminded me of that time. I think it was against Cody. I'm not positive. AEW ladder match when Sammy was up and he did like a triple Lindy and landed flat on his head. Like, what were you even attempting to do?
There were a couple of these. I mean, I don't know if the Elite booked this match or something, but there were a lot of like really scary moments in this where I'm like, that was not supposed to land like that.
Nope.
You know, and I texted you, I'm like, this looks like Wednesday. Because I mean, I'm sorry, folks. I mean, like guys, I'm not cheering. I don't want people to get hurt. I don't think that's cool when people get hurt. You know, like me and you were the first guys who were like, people are saying strong style. I'm like, that's just stupid. So it's hurting the other guy.
Hurting
like,
people. That isn't that like the exact opposite.
I thought we were all against Warrior and Goldberg. Warrior and Goldberg suck, but we love.
They were the only ones that ever hurt anybody. I don't know if you did that or not. Just those two.
Just those guys.
Anything about the match other than
I mean, dude, push the two girls. Chelsea and Tiffany are the two hottest girls.
Oh, hot.
At least on SmackDown right now. They're over, man. I like them. They're getting pushed. They're getting cheered. I mean,
and they like both of them. Like the place went nuts when Chelsea was about to win.
And I know some people might, we were in Canada. This is, if you listen, Chelsea's getting popped every night, man.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear that either because, and I think they actually made mention of it on the air, but like she's from Vancouver,
right?
They're in Toronto. That's like me saying I'm from Los Angeles and I'm in Detroit. Like it's not close at all. Vancouver, way over there. You know,
and I'm just worried. I just thought Chelsea would have been a better winner because I don't think Tiffany needs the case to win the title. I think Chelsea does. To a degree because of the way they've built that character, kind of a cowardice.
Would have been interesting. Yeah.
It would have. And with Piper Niven as her Big Daddy Cool kind of bodyguard, I thought it could have been a cool thing. Stratton, I feel, could go toe. They have not shown us any sort of viewpoint of her where she can't go toe-to-toe with anybody or she couldn't be. She is someone that could win the title, and I think it would have behoove her to go up the ranks and win it in a clean wrestled match, which is what got her over. Her moves, her looks, her flair, her charisma. Whereas I thought this would have been a better Chelsea Green win, but I like Stratton, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think maybe Chelsea needed it more, and it would have been interesting to see her with it. It may have been fun, whereas most time where I'm not really disappointed Drew cashed in already because I'm sick of the gimmick. And I don't want to see him carried around for a year. Right. So it would have been, she might have been fun to watch do whatever.
I think Ryan, I compare her to a degree to Santino. They're missing a boat here. Could Santino have headlined WrestleMania? No. But did they miss money on that guy when he was doing some stuff with Phoenix and all? They missed money there. They missed money on a lot of these guys and people in the past. I think they're missing on Chelsea. There's something there, man.
I think they know.
She's not going to main event
because you look at the way she was booked, and you look at the way she was booked tonight. I think they know whether they're going to make her the champ or not. Who knows?
Right.
They can do more with her than just being pissed off at the boss gimmick. Main event is your 6-man tag. It's the Bloodline. Jacob Fatu did wrestle and taking on KO, Orton, and Cody. They're putting Fatu over huge from the get-go, including his criminal background, which I could not believe they talked about. And they're like, yeah, we had to make phone calls to get this guy into the company. And Jey Uso caught a straight bullet on that too. Everybody's talking about Jey, but this other guy, he actually robbed somebody. And I couldn't believe it. But then he gets in the ring, and right away, that spot where he got up after the vintage Orton DDT, and then he gets up, and Orton was about to do the Viper thing, and he looked up. Instant credibility right there for him. Instant credibility.
The whole Bloodline looked great.
I didn't know who was going to win. I was somewhat surprised the Bloodline won and pinned Cody. So I believe that's going to set up your SummerSlam main event.
I thought that was going to happen.
Back at that, but
I thought that was going to happen, Ryan, because now they're going to run. I beat you. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah,
I beat you, and I'm telling Roman is coming back at SummerSlam, and he's going to cost Solo. I think we're going to, because remember who Cody is and how they've built Cody. Cody is there's nukes, there's machine guns, there's grenades. They're all pumping it into Cody, and he's not, and then somehow he comes back from the dead. I mean, this guy has had the weight of the world in front of him. So I think he's going to be overwhelmed at this one. The Bloodline, shades of WrestleMania 4 to a degree, where Cody's going to be he can't do this. There's too many of them. Solo's walking out of here with the belt, and the Tribal Chiefs music's going to hit, and he's coming in. And he's going to help Cody win that belt and retain it. Yeah, that's what I think.
Anything about the match? You said
it was great. I thought it was a really good match. I thought I enjoyed the open and the close matches. I thought they were really good. Thought the Bloodline, these new guys, I'm excited, man. They can work. I don't know too much about the Tonga Loa guy outside, but from what I've seen on Tonga and Fatu put on a good show tonight, and Solo, they've done a great job of building him up over the past couple months. The Bloodline's keeping SmackDown afloat, man.
I don't know that I'm ready to see Solo in a main event against Cody, but yes, I agree with you.
Because Roman's coming too, though. You're getting Roman. If it just straight up, no.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. I thought this was like a house show match. The way it was, the way they were pumping the crowd up. Some of the moves are like something you would see at a house show. That's kind of what I thought this reminded me of. Yeah, dude, it seemed like a house show match to me. All the ones that I've been to in the days, and a lot of 6-man tags where you're getting the crowd going, you're doing some rest holds, you're doing things to fire up that you don't normally see on television. I thought in that regard it was pretty good. I just, thank God, next pay-per-view, Roman Reigns is back, right? I just wasn't really into it. I didn't think it was bad. I just really wasn't into it, if that makes any sense, And I was surprised by the finish. I find this surprising also. The referee gets murdered, right? No referee comes down at all. And then after the show, they're on the post-game set. Drew takes over the set. He starts screaming. 2 referees within 5 seconds are there trying to get it, and he's beating up these referees, and then he hits the commissioner, whatever his name is, Drew McIntyre, whoever, what was that guy? Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
And there's 2 referees there immediately. You couldn't get another referee that whole match?
This is the stuff, Ryan. I know, and I know people say that we do nitpick. This is the stuff that gets under the skin, though. The little stuff, because it's going to spiral from this, Ryan. He's going to get suspended and fined on Raw, but the Wyatt family kills people. Okay, so he touched referees.
Gable's back the next week, no problem.
Right, but there's going to be no repercussion for these other people.
There was a guy back there that literally looked like it was the final scene from Taxi Driver. He was laying
on the wire.
Thing,
yeah, I know.
Oh my God. Was splattered on the
And then Triple H gets on there and he gets mad at all the fans. Like, how could you guys drive down these whole. You made us, dude. Like, look, nobody sits up at a wall like this. The blood is up behind. Like, it wasn't like someone.
Like he got shot.
It wasn't like someone took his head and smashed it back. The blood, like he had sunk down. Ryan, Drew is going to get fined. We'll see what happens, but like you said, Ryan, I don't want to go off on the Wyatts.
What do we do? Where does Seth play in all of this?
Well, I think now that's the second time. I think him and Punk had a face-to-face, I think, a while ago in the ring. I can't remember why. That was a ways back. But
was it?
You're setting up Punk, I think, Rollins at Mania slowly. Because I gotta believe that's where we're going. This was the tit for tat, the back and forth. Seth was the big social media who was going at AEW while Punk was there. It's got to be that, I think. But the problem is,
they set it up. They set it up again though today. Seth was mad. You cost me the belt.
Well, they did, and that's another problem I had with that match. Everything, and they even said it on there. Punk has altered this WWE universe in so many ways. Again, it's all about Punk now. He's cost him the title. I know it's not Punk's writing, but I don't like that he's cost Rollins his chance. So what do you do with Rollins now?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what you do with him unless he.
I don't, because he's mad at Punk, but Punk is feuding with McIntyre. Does he help? Does he cost Punk the match?
And if he does, they better fight immediately, not WrestleMania.
Well, how do you get from SummerSlam to Mania unless Punk is hurt again? It's only.
That was a below the belt shot. Which, by the way, Tongaloa, did you see him miss the nut shot?
Dude, he freaking clocked.
The second time. But he missed him the first time.
Dude, you could see him when he fell. He was like, oh, man, you freaking leveled me, man. But, yeah, that was, I don't know, man. It just seems like.
He got his money's worth the second time.
Yeah, he did. Ryan, I think these times from Mania to SummerSlam, we're like, what are we doing? Like, we're just floating. The only thing that has stayed the course and seemingly has made sense to me, is the Bloodline. What they're doing with Solo and those guys. I think they're doing sense. Well. Again, leaving here, heading into SummerSlam, I don't see how Drew loses. I don't want to watch Priest versus Gunther. Gunther has to win that match.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch Priest be champion anymore. I don't know what we do with Rollins. We got a lot of questions heading into SummerSlam, and I'm not sure they're all good ones, Ryan.
Yeah, I was going to say, the one thing that I have liked, as bad as I have been on the product, I do like, you have no clue, really. I mean, Roman's going to come back at some point.
Right.
But everything else, it's kind of like, wow, what are we doing here? What's going on? Which I love. That's amazing. That's the way it should be. So I am happy with that. My other big thing coming out of tonight, because I didn't like this show at all, I do like the fact that the Money in the Bank is already cashed in. No, we don't have to deal with it. We don't have to deal with the pretend. Am I going to do it tonight? Am I going to do it tonight? Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just over that.
The girls,
I've been doing that since when did Money in the Bank start? 2005?
Somewhere back in there, yes. Was it Edge the first winner? Is Edge? I can't. I know they said tonight Punk took back Edge,
Edge
2 in a row.
Twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Edge and then Punk twice. And Mr. Kennedy, I think, won it at some point.
Yeah.
But yes, Edge did because he was like 8-0 at WrestleMania at some point. So anyway, I am happy with that. Now we do have to watch Tiffany do it, which, all right, she's a new character and she's good at it. So I'm cool with her doing whatever. Anything else going into SummerSlam that you're looking forward to, that you're curious?
The bloodline, yes. Roman getting back, getting that back, getting the belt off Priest, peeing or getting off the pot with the Judgment Day. I'm sick of just it might as well be called Judgment Monday. Because that's what they're on every segment, Ryan. It's a little annoying, man.
Unwatchable.
So
I
hope
can't act to save her life. We've been telling everybody that for 4 years.
I hope the Judgment Day wraps up. I hope Priest loses the title. I hope Drew beats Punk at SummerSlam. And God, let's get the Tribal Chief back, man. And let's everybody's kind of, I think
tonight. Did you hear We Want Roman? How many times?
Well, Ryan, how many times people are even looking past SummerSlam? I'm seeing more pictures of Civil War for War Games than anybody caring about what's going on at SummerSlam. People are ready to see the bloodline square off.
I'll be honest. I said it earlier. The Gunther, Damian Priest, and then Cody, Solo Sikoa.
It's not
Those
good.
are maybe the two weakest. It's got to be on the list. If it's not number one, it's got to be top 5, top 3. Worst
since they've had 2 belts. Yes.
Yeah. It's not great.
Well, the only thing that's saving the reason why you're able, I think, to do Solo and Cody is because Roman's coming back.
Right.
I assume the Judgment Day is going to have a massive blow up at SummerSlam.
Or right after it. Because Priest loses, then they say, screw you, you suck, you lost.
And it might be Balor that costs him because it looks like Balor is having jealousy issues. And Balor's
Balor's in cahoots with Liv.
If Rhea is back, I think we're going to find out that Dominic has been in cahoots with Liv for a long time and that this is a setup. I honestly, I know you don't like Liv, but the only way this works to me, she's got to beat Rhea when Rhea comes back if you want a legit, because Rhea, the loss will not hurt Rhea. Rhea is freaking over.
Yeah.
I think Dom screws like she comes back and that's Dom looks like, all right, my mommy's back. Now you're going and Dom will enter SummerSlam in her corner. He will leave with Liv after he helps her win.
I would take that. When we don't know how healthy Rhea is.
No, that's if Rhea fights. If she's ready by SummerSlam.
That would work for me, brother. That would work for me.
And then Liv can beat her back Rhea can get her belt back
get it at some point.
Whenever.
Well, that would make sense. That would completely make sense.
But I just think that, and hopefully Dom moves off with Liv. The Judgment Day blows up. And we move on with these guys. Yeah.
For anybody new listening to us, we had like a 14 pay-per-view streak where we were like, this is amazing. This is the greatest thing ever. And
or at least we came on going, I didn't think this was going to be very good, but it was it was a good show. This is the best show they've put on over the last 2.
It's Mania. Yeah.
But the bar has been real. Let's just get to and
Ryan.
Ryan.
There were a lot of mistakes also that didn't help the night. Like we talked about, we don't need to get back into it, but the mistakes are going to leave. And Triple H was asked in the press conference. He's like, I have some people I need to talk to. So there's that.
Somebody needs to find out who showed up.
He's light and music guy to make because that guy always seems to hit the button at the right time.
And I don't know if Priest, did he not show up with the tan? I don't know what's going on. What because you can't again, people can dog that up. You can't unsee what happened to Priest, man.
There could have been some kind of malfunction. Like maybe the guy did hit the button, but it wouldn't play. I don't know.
Papa Shango came in late. Sid still kicked out of the leg drop.
I brought that up. Jeff. Jeff was over here watching it with me. And I brought that up. I'm like, apparently Papa Shango is the only person who's ever missed a cue, which we didn't even know about. But that was so bad. And he said it. He's like, that was so bad. I'm like, you didn't know about it until you were 40. Like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody knew.
And
that
dude,
was the
as
plan.
opposed to that one, people dog that. I thought that made Sid look huge. He kicked out of the leg drop, man.
Now,
Like
here's your point. That's what Priest should have done. He should have kicked out. But again, I assume at 1 or 2, then the music
still
hits.
get your shoulder up. Get your shoulder up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Well, that way that's the other thing though. Once again, where does Seth play a role in this? Because Seth could then say, I had him beat. He did not kick out. I looked, because I assumed Seth was going to look up, when the music
hit,
and
he
then
was gonna
uncover Priest.
Right.
Because he was going to look up. But the music never played.
Yeah. And he was like, this is the first time the Falcon Arrow has beat someone. Like the move worked.
There's another thing.
It worked and they didn't count it.
Be somebody. We were all expecting him to kick out anyway.
Yeah, like a Falcon Arrow. No one gets pinned with that. You're like, wait, what? Oh.
Didn't he finally pin somebody with that within the last year? And we were like,
I think he did. Yes,
they finally decided
to let.
They act like the guy got hit with Nagasaki over here, and they're already kicked out. Like they always kick out.
They always and now they've ruined his stomp. People are kicking out of the stomp.
He missed the stomp pretty bad too.
Oh yeah, he did. Dude. That was a bad botch too.
Because Jeff said this too during the show. He said, "Just give me one ladder. Like, why are there 50 million ladders? Why does there have to be all this?" I'm like, because you can't do HBK Razor anymore. We've seen it. So then you have to have 2 ladders. Then you have to have 3. Then you have to have a 6-pack challenge. Then you have to, you keep raising the bar, and they've raised it so high now with this Money in the Bank, which is now 20 years. There's nothing else to do.
And Ryan, we remember that Shawn Michaels match is like almost 30 years ago, dude. Like if you put that match on for some kid who was born in 2010, they're not going to rate that match that high compared to other ladder matches that they've seen.
Yeah, they see what we saw today. Chelsea Green freaking fell 30 feet through a table.
Shawn Michaels is jumping off like the 3rd ring on the ladder to fall, and people are like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't go all the way up. He was like halfway up.
Everybody was super happy, So, I mean, yeah, and you're right, Ryan. I mean, you dropped 1 nuke, so what do you got to do now? I need 2 nukes. I mean, it's just
Hiroshima.
You have to do everything. I really wish we would roll it back, a little bit, because
but you can't. But
no, I don't know how.
You named it. You just said it. Nobody watches the old crap on Peacock. We've known that since the place first.
Me and you are the only two.
Yeah, we're like the only ones. Like, nobody watches that stuff. And the kids, they watch, like you said, you put on WrestleMania 5, they're gonna go, what on earth am I watching? And
Ryan, you could even go up to the
entire other company is based on we're the best wrestler. And all they do is book matches nonstop. There's no story. There's no nothing half the time. And all they want to see is freaking triple indies, man. That's all they want to see.
I think the eras of wrestling, the golden era, the new generation, the NWO attitude era, the ruthless aggression have never been more divided than they are. Because, I mean, yeah, you're right, dude. You have someone who, like I just said, born in 2010. I even think if you show them the attitude era, they're going to be like, this sucks. It's not for, and a lot of it did, but like, again, for them, this like crash pad Jerry Springer show may not be their thing. Like, they're like, why are the matches 3 minutes?
Well, then all those matches, it was WWE style. Remember when all those WCW guys came over, they had to learn WWE style. It was nothing but like, you have 5 impact moves, and that's all you do.
Yep.
That's all you do. Look at Austin. I know it was because he was hurt, but he did the Luthez press. He did the stomps in the corner. He did the finger, elbow. It's like all he did.
Dude, yeah, I don't know how many times Triple H does the knee counter. in
Oh
his
my God.
matches.
Yeah,
like
knee.
boom, boom, like that
Running
knee
knee.
kind of like Jesus
Or
God.
the drop him on his.
Yeah, the knee. Yeah, they had literally. You're right. They had their, and then the ones who we considered like the technicians had like 8 to 10 moves. I
He
mean, they
used
were
to
like,
do the X-Pac spinning heel kick
dude,
count.
he was the worst. He had like 3. I don't know how like people like Kevin Nash doesn't have moves. Neither does he. Like Six has like 4 moves, man.
And 3 of them are different
Spinning,
variations of the
yes,
spinning heel
running,
kick.
standing, or in the corner spinning heel kick. Like, and yeah, they're all the
I
spinning
mean,
heel
we
kick.
would count them, and people would get pissed at us. Remember that? Remember
Right.
when we were at college? You came out to see me one time, and we were sitting on the steps going, "Hey, 14!"
But dude, when you really look at it, only Hogan wrestled with the same moves.
Yeah,
Only Hogan.
only Hogan. Only Hogan had. I got 3 punches, big boot, and a leg drop. And
It
the
works,
Rock doing
brother.
it, brother. Anything else, buddy? We got to roll.
No, Ryan. No, thanks for having me. Probably got to cut this up a little bit. Let's hope SummerSlam. Let's get the engines cooking, man. Like this has been a rough 3-4 months. Moving out of Mania, man.
Well, the
really
man's
has
coming
been.
back. I assume. If he doesn't, he may be laying face down on the highway. I mean, like, because I can't take much more of this.
So I'll be bringing
Roman-
this podcast to you next week by myself, solo, as Ryan has quit the job, guys. Because
Ryan has died. He was found face down on I-75 because he had to watch another Cody match.
Right,
I mean, I just
right. You are not my WWE.
Yeah.
Yes, Ryan takes a power bomb. Yeah, but you're right, dude. He is wrestling right now, and there are eras. I mean, we felt it was Cena. When Cena's era, when he wasn't there, I mean, you saw it tonight. All you people that booed when he was here, and
get the heck out of him now.
It's different
because you're seeing it with Roman. You're seeing it because they're chanting, "We want Roman."
Because you're seeing the level of difference. It's like looking at athletes. That tier, even though guys out there, whoever they may be here. Tom Brady was up here. These guys, Patrick Mahomes is up here. Like they don't.
I'm gone.
Yes, you are.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
And those people that spent
proven that. And I've told you, I don't know if I've said it on here. Maybe I have. If I did, it's the end. Shut it off anyway. But my favorite of all time, he's not on the Mount Rushmore. He's not there. As good as he is not one of the 4 greatest wrestlers of all time.
Never.
But
I don't think he would.
Favorite of all time? There's no question. He is.
Roman is your favorite?
No. He is on my Mount Rushmore. And if I had to say an order, Hollywood Hogan is number 1. Roman Reigns might be number 2. My second favorite wrestler of all. I think that's how much I think about this bloodline. I think it is that good. I think he is that good in that role. I mean, look at all the people he put over, including Sami Zayn, who's still over, and he had his fans and everything.
No doubt.
That mofo headlined WrestleMania. Sami Zayn.
Ryan,
look at him. Nobody gives a rip.
I'm struggling with it too. I can't just put Hollywood,
dude,
because you can't have Hollywood without the Hulk. So Hulk and Hollywood together are my top guy. It's hard for me. Yeah. It's hard for me to not. Savage is up there, but when I start, I love Hart, and I was looking at the other day. I'm like, I don't know if he's better than Roman though.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
He's not.
And
he's not better than Roman Reigns.
And I love Bret. But
and let me say, in the ring, but the character.
Oh, Bret, yeah.
Bret
I'm talking over,
cool, but yeah.
But when you look back, Ryan, and I said this to you the other day when I was comparing Bret and Shawn preside over the worst era in WWE history, as far as champions. And I know
it's only Kevin Nash.
For me, Ryan, like I know that when I see, and I'm again, if you got to cut out all these digs so our troll doesn't report us, one of the biggest critiques for me on AEW is the guys are little, and I saw that with my dad. I think a lot of my dad's generation stopped watching when Brett and Shawn became champions
Yes.
because my dad, and this is what's crazy, my dad considers Bret Hart a little guy.
Little guy. And
And
he
Bret
looks like
Hart,
Andre the Giant in AEW right now.
yeah, he would.
You go back when we met each other, 97 or whatever, wrestling was appointment viewing. It was appointment viewing. And we know Roman wasn't on all the time, but they would tell you when he was going to be on. And you better bet that I was sitting in front of some TV somewhere when they announced, hey, Roman's going to be on next Friday. What are you doing? I'm watching SmackDown tonight. Like, wait, we're going to the Tiger game. Hey, we got front row tickets. SmackDown's on. You know, it wasn't that extreme, but you know what I'm saying. Like, he did that for me where, like, what we used to do in 97, 98, 99, like, what are you doing on Monday? I'm watching wrestling, dude.
Right.
I'm not watching anything else. You know what I'm doing. Roman, he did that. It was the same. Like, it was appointment freaking viewing. And that's why he's up there for me. So,
Yeah, well, Ryan, where would we be without him?
oh, I don't even want.
What would we be? I mean, well, coming out of
I don't even
COVID,
want to know.
people got to. You look back. Remember how bad it was from 10 to 20. How bad? Right? I mean, literally, if I'm not mistaken, the McMahon family even had to come out in the ring and apologize how bad the crap was, and try to tell viewers they were going to change. They didn't. And it
wasn't until he came in.
Dude, this is comparable.
People talk about the Sasha and Bailey, and they did fine. They saved the pandemic and era and all that. Roman Reigns, what are you talking about?
I think you can say Bailey, Sasha, Drew, and Lashley, like, kept it a life preserver was there, and they kept it afloat. It wasn't stable. You needed help. You needed a lifeboat. The signal flare went out, and the Roman Titanic, or maybe Titanic's not a good word for that. The Roman lifeboat came rolling in, and it is. It has regenerated wrestling, and it has regenerated how many careers, like you said, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jimmy and Jay Uso, Cody Rhodes.
Everybody,
I mean, it just all these Samoan guys. You couldn't just bring these guys in as what Islanders 2.0.
No,
their bloodline, they're over,
and they do have names because, like Tonga, he was like the original dude in the Bullet Club. Like, so he has a name and everything. Yeah, and Jacob Fatu has been underground, but we know where it's going. That's why people care. If they just brought in Jacob Fatu and he was
a dude,
nobody would care.
He's Umaga.
Know where it's going.
Yeah.
And it's going to Roman.
Yep.
And The Rock. Don't forget The Rock. He's been great too. But
they've all been good. Let's hope let's get some bloodline going. So
I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. Hopefully I just want to see. And I don't know what his dad dying does to all this. Does that put a dent in it? Does he wait another month before he comes back? Like, what does he do? Because maybe he was in bad shape. We didn't know, obviously. So maybe that does, but I gotta think he'll be back.
Me too, Ryan. I mean, they need him. Yeah, they need him. They definitely need him.
Buddy, thank you. And everybody.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for listening to our little Roman rant.
Oh, man.
we had going. But I'm glad we did, man, because it's good conversation. It was better than that pay-per-view. So thanks, everybody, for watching. As always, we'll have some more stuff for you as we lead toward SummerSlam. So hopefully fast that stuff out. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, everybody. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Please tell your friends. It would help us out big time. All right. Job, guys. Out.
You smell something, it's us, because we're the stuff.